Good morning and welcome to coverage of Bowls Auckland's finals day from the Mount Eden Bowling Club. Today we'll be bringing you the two triples finals, starting with the women's final in a few moments. And the teams in that are Howick Bowling Club's Penny Yam, Ting and Sue Carroll, playing former champions Estelle, Hickey, Janine, Browne and Helen Blick of the Carlton Cornwall Bowling Club. I'm joined in commentary today by Simon Poppleton for the first game before he heads off to an Indoor Bowls teams meeting. So we'll have, I'll work him twice as hard because he's only going to be here for half the time. Welcome, Simon.
Thank you, Paul. Pleased to be here at short notice this morning. Got a phone call at 7 o'clock this morning to say that the redoubtable Brendan Walton was unwell and couldn't perform today up to expectations. So happy to be jumping into the fray, and should be a good game this with the two quad-elite teams ending up in the final here.
Yeah, well, there's a difference in the teams. The Howick combination is quite young, and you can see there that they beat a fairly solid combination from Auckland Bowling Club and Aggie Motu, Kimberly Hemingway and Joe Cheng comfortably in the semi-final. But both Penny and Ting are not long out of juniors, so that's, you'd say, a relatively inexperienced side, but they're all quality players with good results. And on the other side of the draw, Estelle, Hickey, Janine, Browne and Helen Blick have won this championship a couple of times, and they took care of Jane Field, Donna Davison and Joe Seeger without too much trouble in the other semi-final. So you would know the Carlton Cornwall players possibly better than the Howick players, Simon. What are you expecting?
Well, that's correct. I mean, as you say, correctly say, Paul, that experience on the Carlton Cornwall side of things. But that doesn't always mean too much, does it, on the day? It's just a game of one-on-one competition, and anybody who's in good form on the day can have a win, come away. It's looks to be a beautiful day at Mount Eden there, as always in Auckland, isn't it, Paul?
Yeah, right. No, I was just going to say that the weather this weekend, this Anzac weekend, has been perfect, and yesterday for bowling, but also the early stages of winter sports, you couldn't have asked for a better day. And as a bowler, if you were offered this for a finals day, you'd take it without even thinking.
100%. And as you'll probably see, those who don't know the game, our lovely game of outdoor bowls, lawn bowls, the ladies have two ends of practice before they actually start the actual game. So they will play their bowls up in one direction and then turn around and play the bowls back in the other direction, and then they will start officially into the game.
So the three players you see there, Janine Browne on the left of screen will be leading for Carlton Cornwall by the look of it. Maybe Helen Blick will be. And the other two were Ting from Howick and Sue Carroll. That's Estelle Hickey, who's just stepped back from the mat, and Penny Yam with the pink bowl in her hand now.
And the good news for viewers, as well, is the fact that we have the Howick team have all the lightish colour bowls. So there's 4 pink bowls and 2 blue bowls, whereas the Carlton Cornwall team seem to have all, which is handy for us as commentators, all the dark coloured bowls, which it's going to make things quite nicely for us.
Yeah, well, I'm intrigued to see how they adjust to the pace of the rink, because this rink can actually be quite quick. We saw that with the under-26 pairs. It took the teams a little while to settle into their routines. They had been playing on the green before. It's normally a beautiful green to play on, but it can be a little quick, and especially they were finding on the longer ends, early doors, that there were a few going into the ditch, which is not really what you want out of your lead bowlers. Both teams got it sorted out in the end and played very well, but it just took them a little time to settle into the pace.
Yes, I did that commentary, Paul, and Towie White, he actually did struggle for the first, probably in both the semi-final and the final, funnily enough, the first 4 or 5 ends of those games, particularly going in this direction, away from the clubhouse. But he settled back into it after about, say, sort of midway through.
Yeah, well, we've got a playing order I might not have expected, actually. It looks like Ting's got the mat for Howick, and Penny Yam is down at the skips end. So
Is that not how they played the semi-final?
I'll be
Paul?
honest, I didn't see the semi-final,
no,
but just knowledge of the players, maybe it wasn't what I expected. However, it obviously works. And
we're away.
We're underway.
So mid-length end to start with.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, again, it's the fine of this ladies triples is 18 ends, which does give you plenty of time if you have a good start to crack in. Or if you have a bad start, you've got plenty of time to catch up and get yourself sorted.
And I think both these teams would be reluctant to have a bad start and spot the opposition 6 or 8 points. That would not be part of the game plan.
Triples was a funny game, isn't it, Paul? It's a game where you can easily drop a number. There's generally holes and gaps and all sorts of things, so it's a game where you've got to be on the ball right from the start. And it's about getting onto the jack.
Yeah, nice start from Janine Browne. She'd be happy to see that one go down with the first. Janine actually began her bowls at the Komarama Bowling Club, but moved to Carlton, Cornwall, looking for a tougher standard of competition, and she's done very well. This triple has been together for some years now, and they've won a couple of Auckland titles, so certainly not new to this level of scrutiny, I guess you could call it, intensity, whatever word you want. Fairly well used to it, and Janine also did very well in the JB Ware 242 with Billy Fulton. They won the second section, if I remember rightly. Certainly played well. So this is Carroll.
So Janine with the second one unluckily knocked the bowl of Ting's over. And now she slipping through the gap there. So Helen Blick, current Auckland president. Paul, is that correct?
I think so.
Yep.
Yeah.
Been an administrator for Auckland for quite a period of years. Seems to thrive on the administrative tasks. I think she's been
Very
with
nice
Cornwall.
starter.
Yeah, very good starter. She's been on Carlton Cornwall's executive for a number of years as well, I would imagine.
Yep. Played another one who played at Komarama back in the day. I think she is the last part of the last Komarama team that won an Auckland Open Centre title.
Right.
And there was Helen, Eileen Badham, who also was distinguished as a cricketer, and
fair effort here. Very good shot
good
here.
there.
Sue, very good shot.
Yeah.
Toucher.
Nice little resting toucher.
Nice little channel there for Helen. Same as the last pretty much, and she'll be on the money. She's got Janine's to knock up or through the gap.
Through the gap, you just
Edge of
about rest
Janine's,
the
I
bowl
think. She's
out.
going to be a bit stiff there.
Unlucky.
Great effort. So the toucher there hasn't been marked, so which now means that it's not a toucher because the bowl's been played. For those who don't know the rules there, which is
Well, you got me because I didn't realise
bit
that.
naughty. Yeah, no. Once a bowl's been played, and then I'm pretty sure I stand to be corrected. I'm sure one of the umpires, Brendan from his sick bed, might be that's not the rule. He might be able to tell us. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the rule, Paul. But so
Okay.
I stand to be corrected there. But I think once another bowl has been played, that the toucher becomes negated.
You'll often see if somebody's quick on the mat, the skipper or the marker waiting until the bowler's in motion before they'll chalk a bowl.
Yep.
And that is a way of keeping the game going.
Yep. I think it's once the bowl's finished, like the next bowl's stopped.
Okay.
But I say again, I'm sure I'll have somebody listening or watching will go yes or no. Will tell us for sure.
Well, you're not going to get a definitive answer from me. That is for certain.
Just under the line, I think.
Estelle's offering is Bit of a jokey bowl, short and skinny.
Just needed to be a bit more of both, eh? A bit more speed, probably another a good metre of speed, really.
I don't think it'll take her long to get the hang of it, though.
No.
She's very well versed in the game of bowls and a very good exponent of it.
Absolutely. So a little tight again, I think. Might be a nuisance bowl though. If it gets in Helen's line, might be a bit of, and is going to.
Not quite. There's possibly room if you're coming in with a little bit more pace on that metre that you're talking about. You probably slip between the two pink bowls, and you could either trail the jack or rest the shot bowl out. Let's see what we've got.
Looks a bit more speed to it.
Yeah.
Just going to duck. Is she going to get the front plant? No, just
skinny again.
Beautiful speed for it.
So that's a fairly clear 1 to Howick, isn't it?
It is indeed.
And we are underway.
So nice friendly start, just the one.
Yep. And most of the players in the game would be happy that they got at least one of their deliveries away pretty much where they wanted it. None of them were a long way off target, so that's a good start for all concerned.
It's a lovely setting, Mount Eden, isn't it, Paul? It's a beautiful, historic clubhouse.
Yep. One of a number of clubs from the central part of Auckland that are well over 100 years old now. And there are a number of them, and they all tend to have very nice facilities. 2 very good grass greens, and there's the nice artificial up the back.
So longer in this time.
This is a bit light. It's always hard to tell when you're looking from directly behind because the perspective flattens out a bit, but nothing too much wrong with that. Certainly something to act as a guide. Janine opting for the other hand.
On a good line.
I don't think she's far off the money here.
Very tidy start.
There you go, metre short.
Good to see she's got a hat on now. Paul, she started off first with no hat. You've got to be very sun weary, don't you, nowadays?
Well, even though we're in autumn here in Auckland, it was still pretty warm outside yesterday.
Very much so, yep.
So I spent the afternoon watching rugby, and it was very pleasant in the sun.
I spent the night watching rugby in rugby league.
No,
all good results. Hurricanes in the Wars, fantastic.
Yeah, just
Bit
a
of a
little nipper on it.
Running toucher from Janine there. So chalk, the old-fashioned chalk there from Estelle.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that was probably not a bad result because even though there was just a wee chip on the jack, it didn't knock it far. So,
and her bowl stayed on. Well, it doesn't matter if her bowl had gone into the ditch, obviously. People are aware the any toucher that stays within the confines of the rink and goes in the ditch is still a live bowl.
Yeah, but Helen's Janine's first bowl remains a comfortable shot.
Oh, you're correct. Yep. We can't quite see from here, but I think one of Ting's bowls is behind the head,
yes,
not in the ditch. Yeah, we can't see that from this angle, but yeah.
It's not a bad note from Helen either.
Another good bowl, yes.
So there's 2 shots fairly handy.
I think we're almost a full length head here, aren't we, Paul? Because the mat's got almost all the way back.
Yep.
And the ladies and the Howick ladies haven't quite adjusted yet to that either. That's pretty good weight. Speed was pretty good, but the just the line no good. Helen very quickly into work.
Tell you what, if this one gets in close to the jack, there's a bit of pressure going on early doors.
That's what I mean about 2 bowl triples. It's one of those games where it doesn't take long, and the heads build up, and you've got not much to hit, not much to push through.
And there you go. And if you're wanting to change, if Howick is wanting to change and play on the forehand side, they've got a couple of their own short bowls to negotiate as well, which is, it's starting to get quite difficult for Penny, and she really wants her first bowl to be one that stops the bleeding a bit.
She's got and the difficult part is she's got to draw within sort of 2 feet, and then she's got bowls in the line in front to stop her achieving that game.
Yeah, I suspect it's going to have to come on the backhand.
100%. And it seems to be swinging quite nicely in there too, so she's just get the speed right. Or is she a bit more attacking? I'm not sure. No,
I think she's going to be short again.
She's under again more than anything. I think the speed's not bad, but under again. It's same as Sue's last bowl.
Well, the gold star for Estelle Hickey. Something that her sister Linda Ralph knows all about, because she's probably got a couple of them by now. Linda, a very accomplished singles player amongst other qualifications.
That looks a good line.
Yeah, this is possibly going to. It's either going to expand the wall.
Well, it's good enough for 4, and I think probably. Yep. Wow. Okay.
Oh, big call.
Big call. So this is what I mean about the 2-bowl triples. It's hard to. She's really got nothing to hit, to be fair. You'd almost be tended to sort of be reaching on your backhand and just trying to change something. Trying to draw around and cut it down is going to be a very, very difficult task. She's out wider, but she's given it way more speed by the looks of it. I think this would be probably in the ditch, so heavy by a fair way. That would be the shot if she was narrower by about 2 metres under the gap. So Estelle just changes nothing from her first one. They've got a 5er there, I think, Paul.
Yep, I would say there's a wee Edioni bowl, this one. I suspect that she's
good line
far
again.
too experienced to make a real meal of it.
Just got to beat that. Oh, is she going to get there?
Might be measuring for the last one.
Definitely 4, though, you would think. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Certainly 3. Bearing in mind that as we saw, your perspective flat. Yeah, it's that. The one that Janine is measuring to now will be about a metre short of the jack. But the jack did get chipped just a little bit off the centre line, so...
Interesting to see that Janine, the one to measure, not Helen, as well.
Younger knees, I think.
Younger knees, so yeah, that looks like a 4th.
That looks like a
4th one.
Yes,
boundary.
it is. So Carlton pick up a 4. They get an eye open, and we're 4-1 to Carlton after 2 ends.
So the mat hasn't changed much. Janine's not really done. She's probably a mat further forward than the last 10 was.
Yeah.
And looks to be quite a long, if in fact is it's going to stop. It might not stop by the looks of this. Can't quite tell from this angle. Reaching, you'll know shortly. Yep. That's stopped.
It's stopped.
So any bowl, any jack that goes past the 2 metre mark and doesn't go in the ditch goes automatically onto the 2 metre mark. If it goes into the ditch, then off the first jack throw, then it goes back to be re-bowled by the opposition.
Yeah, Janine's a pretty relaxed customer when she's playing. She doesn't mind too much about what length is there. She rates herself to be able to play virtually any length, and she's proved it often enough to not have any reason for doubt. When she's running hot, she can live within a foot radius of that jack. She's a good singles player right from when she first started playing, and she's not scared to come. She won't be doing much of it in this game, but she's not scared to play with a bit of weight, and she can be quite aggressive. I mean, her job today is just to set the table.
Yep.
But she's, as I say, a fairly relaxed sort of a customer in the game of bowls, but fiercely competitive for all that.
She might need the little yellow thing here.
I think she's going to get a bit of it. Well, not quite.
They always look to be a bit narrower.
amongst other things, in a former life, Janine Browne was a very good orienteer.
Wow, okay, that's an unusual,
diverse
sport.
Up to World Cup standard.
Good gracious, that's a solid effort.
Yeah, no, she's been involved in a number of sports in her lifetime and has done all of them pretty well.
Pretty good line here. Yeah,
this is starting to look like it's going to be useful.
Very good shot.
Yeah.
Helen doesn't muck around, does she, Paul? She's
no.
She's just very quickly on the mat and boom, off it's gone. Good line too.
Wonder if she runs meetings the same way.
Oh, possibly. Yeah, it's a very good second shot.
Yep.
Very, very good.
Yeah, happy with that.
Yep. Yeah, you don't want to get the scenario that you just pick up a bishop over 4 and then you drop a number. So
no,
one down doesn't hurt. Bit of chainsawing going on in the background. Somebody's doing a bit of renovations. Pretty good again here from Sue. Not quite going to be there, but still not bowl handy.
It may or may not. Probably a little further away. One and a measure. There you go.
Again, I think Helen plays that way where she's not afraid to be a metre through, is she, Paul? Like, that's not in her DNA to be shy. So I think she's.
That's one way of putting it.
Yeah,
yes.
I think she's in the air. Well, she might be onto Sue's bowl. Can't quite tell. From she did now. She's definitely 2.
Yeah, definitely a couple down there, but also opens up that hand a bit.
Yep. So Sue just needs to sneak past Ting's bowl and get to that bowl of first bowl of Helen. So just pass the head.
I'd guess about a mat, so maybe 2 feet to work in.
Pretty good.
It's not a bad nail.
Pretty good. Very good. That'll do.
Yeah, that's definitely counting.
So again, that's the nature of 2-bowl triples, isn't it? Like one end you're all over it, and next end you're, oops, hello. The opposition's got 3 all over it.
And from what I remember of the 26ers, this was an end where they tended to overshoot quite consistently, coming this way.
It was quick, yeah, for some reason, yep.
It's not as if they're perched on the side of Mount Eden and that's the downhill side. That doesn't come into it. But it was the direction where the young players certainly had more difficulty getting their length right. And if you can do that, you can probably pick up a few shots. Liam Hill walking through in the background.
Mr. Frosty says his hair is now coming. He's growing his hair out. So, Estelle. Well, if she's got the speed, she's got a chance. I'm not sure she's quite got the speed to hold up to.
Just a bit skinny on it, not by much.
Yeah, 100%.
That was the sort of speed she was looking for. A wee slide off the inside of the front blue bowl might have been something that changed the end. We'll never know.
Speaking of the under-26, congratulations to all those young men and young women just been named in that New Zealand squad. Just recently in the past week, some very, very good promising players in that squad, obviously, and some that have missed out. So, but congratulations to all of those players.
Yeah, there's a ton of young talent coming through in this country at the moment, which is nice to see, because for a long time we seem to see the same names over and over again, but now they're getting challenged by players whose future is in front of them rather than perhaps in the rearview mirror. And okay, so Estelle's put a bit of mustard on this one, but
she's got the better speed. She's really good.
If she picks something out of there, a bit like that.
Very good. It's the speed. Yep.
And that, I suspect, might have been what she was looking for on the first bowl, because she was quite close to getting that. And that the position of that front blue bowl was actually very nice to get the wee inside slide.
Yep. Well, that shot bowl might be worth maybe 1 or 2, perhaps. Maybe she wants to. Good idea to come and have a look.
Yeah, well, she has come and had a look.
If it's worth 3, you'd be having a wee niggle, wouldn't you? Be having a wee poke through the head, trying trying to take the bowl out.
Yeah, well, you've also got the advantage even if you're playing a metre on. And the one thing you don't want to do is push the jack
But yeah,
back.
they've got nothing behind the head of they at all.
Back to about 4 o'clock, because you could drop another 4, and that really wouldn't be a good idea. But you do have the advantage of having a couple of short bowls to hit, rest on, promote. And
so here we go. So, be interesting to see. This would be whether she plays with. I'm not sure how she plays, Paul. Whether she's got a bit of a weighted shot.
She's a good singles player.
That doesn't seem to be really.
That's not tramping, is it?
No, it doesn't seem to be tramping.
It may not be bad, though. I'll tell you what, it may not be bad.
She, off her own bowlers, get one maybe. No, unlucky.
Slides through.
Yep. So a good recovery from conversion recovery bowl from Estelle.
Yep.
Three down to 1 up.
Yep. And so 5 to 1 in favour of Carlton Cornwall after 3 ends. Janine with the mat a wee way up, probably about a metre or so. And
back to that almost a 2 metre mark again, I think, by the looks of it. Yep.
Yep. Back on the tee.
On the 2 metre.
Yep. And away we go. Let's see what happens this time.
So they have got you probably will see the little discs on the left hand side of our graphics there, where Howick's got a blue disc and Carlton's got a green disc. It's hard to tell with this light what they are, but it's probably the easiest way to tell is obviously with the 4 pink bowls and the 2 blue against all the pretty much the darker bowls of the Carlton Cornwall team.
Yeah, that's sometimes a very nice thing. You don't want to have one player on each side with orange bowls, one player on each side with red bowls, and one player on each side with black bowls. That becomes a bit of a pain.
Yes. I can recall a centre singles I marked a section where both players had white bowls, speck of white bowls.
Oh, lovely.
It was just the emblem was the difference. Absolute nightmare.
And you were rating your kids'
Absolute
play
nightmare.
box for a stick of green chalk to mark them with.
Yeah, no, I had pink chalk, but yeah, it was just a nightmare. But the beauty of our bowls, I suppose, systems nowadays is you can have whatever colour you like, can't you? It's fantastic, you know.
Yeah.
Back in the dim darks when I first started, when I was 20, I think, it was black and brown. That was it. That's all you could get. And they went out a mile. I think I started with Henslite Super Grips, which went about 3 metres wide. And on a sunny day, if you were playing a team game, you'd look up the other end and you had no clue what was going on. Absolutely no clue. It was just all a massive dark. Where nowadays, obviously, we've got anything from whites to pinks to blues to blacks to greens to yellows. Just fantastic.
To multicolours that have you falling off the sofa.
Tricolours, yeah, exactly. So
good start from Ting here. Yep. She's got... her first one was about a metre light, and the second one cut that gap in half.
The Helen on the forehand looks...
Yeah, changed her hand from last time. It was sort of forced on her.
Bit of speed up.
Yep, that's... Head goes down and...
No, it stays on.
Ball stays on.
Estelle didn't go to grab it, so it must be on the rink still.
I think it crossed her mind.
Or it looked like she was reaching for it.
Yep. Okay, now a chance for Howick to put a bit of pressure on.
False start. Something happened there.
Yep. Somebody making a noise in the background, I suspect. Got the stink eye.
Very good hat there. Can't hardly see above the brim, you'd think, wouldn't you?
Oh, it's a pretty good brim. You're not going to get too much sun.
You're not. No. I wear one of the big yellow, big white floppies, which are.
Yeah, I also have the broad brim job, like the old Greg Chappell cricket hat.
Yep, me too. That's the one.
There's somebody who has suffered from skin cancers in the past. See no reason to encourage them ever again. And
so there are our sponsors.
Yep, and I tell you what, they should get a lot of interest from bowlers, because it is something that you live with in New Zealand, but you live uncomfortably with it if you don't deal with it.
And, it's a great sport we play, but we play outside, and we do have a fairly fixed of a sun if it's a sunny day, so please, if you do feel like you've had a change in any of your moles, go and get checked out with mole check.
Yeah, and if you play on artificials, you get the heat blasting back at you off the carpet as well. So
This could be interesting. I think she's a lucky miss. She's a happy miss, that one, Paul.
Yeah, sneaky through the gap.
Because that would have nicked the jack sideways over to the 2 bowls of Carlton Cornwall, I think.
Yeah, although it was going, it could have knocked it a reasonable distance. Okay, so now Estelle has a little work to do. I suspect she might be 2 down here. Very definitely 1.
She'd be arriving on the forehand, I think, the same as she called Helen. No reason to change what she asked Helen to do.
Can't see why you wouldn't change it. There's plenty of room.
I mean, there would be a possibility of playing the backhand because you have got to sit on the pink bowl, or you can grab the jack on that hand, but depends what she's comfortable with.
Yeah, and you can see from that picture that the tracks of the bowls are still, you can see the tracks on both hands, so they sort of have an indication of where they want to be.
Yep.
And they will have looked at both sides in the trial ends, which weren't that long ago.
So Helen should know to get out of the camera.
This
one
wide, yeah. This one won't come back far enough, but it might turn that bowl in a bit. Not enough to change much.
Don't know, maybe. It's hard to tell from that metre short pink one whether the bowl past the jack is within the realms.
Yeah, because your depth perception is telescoped with TV.
So Penny on the forehand. That looks quite a good line, I think.
Yeah, I suspect she's almost trying to play
the speed. Just the speed, perfect line, but just quite a bit of speed, unfortunately.
Still a bit of a nuisance.
So I think
you'd have to rattle it if you're going to push it into the count, but it is still up on its running edge.
I think Helen's, Helen wants her to go to the backhand, and obviously Janine's going, that's bowled three metres out. I think I'd be tempted to go to backhand myself because you've got nothing to rest on the forehand. With the backhand you can rest on either bowl, and you've got the opportunity of, if you've got a little bit of speed on, to grab the jack. Again, Helen's not doing us any favours. It's a bit wide with that speed. I think unless she's just drawing, she's not bad.
She's going to be close. I think it'll be I was going to say a good second, but I think it might be a good first.
No, I think it's still the pink maybe.
Again, the depth perception is going to be interesting. If it's not shot, it's a very good second.
Penny's got to be coming back in and follow that one down. So, which she is.
Yeah.
She needs to sit the green bowl or just sit her pink bowl over. A little tightish this time. I'm not sure she got the speed she wants either, really. That bowl set down.
The green bowl's fallen in.
Yeah.
Fallen in, but I don't know it's changed much. It actually fell away from the jack. They seem to have agreed on one to somebody.
One to somebody is Janine giving the jack away. So 1 to Howick.
1 to Howick. So 2-5 after 4 ends. And
persisting with the same jack, same mat length, both teams. A little bit shorter this time though. We've got quite a bit shorter actually.
Yeah.
This will be interesting.
Offering new challenges.
Indeed. And I think Ting's been playing the backhand too, isn't she? So she's changed to the forehand.
Yeah, again, she can sometimes take a little while to work out which of the 2 sides of the rink she wants to work on.
Not a bad start.
But she's patient, and sometimes she can be very patient. And if you're playing against her, you can wait for a little while between your bowls. But she's not somebody who rushes or panics or gets a delivery all out of whack.
Right.
And when she gets it right, she can be very consistent and just one after the other and down the same line. So I see she got the signal from Penny down the other end that she was about a metre through. So we'll see what we've got here.
A bit more than a metre this time, I think, maybe. She'll go a little bit there. Always good, though. Over the head's good.
About the same, yeah. Janine threw the head a bit as well. Again, we're playing towards the end where there has been a bit of separation between bowls and jack. They haven't quite nailed their length as they would like coming this way just yet.
Pretty good from Sue here. The short length is working for the Howick team so far.
Yep, that's obviously the one to beat. Bit of body
got
English
the lean
there.
here. Got the lean on from Helen. Not sure where the bowl is, but here it is.
Here it comes.
Okay, so this so far this little shorter length in is certainly worked the treat for the Howick team.
Yeah, you suspect that if they hang on to this and maybe add one or two, it'll be going not much further next time. See what we've got.
Okay, it's a good line too, you'd think. Man, very good bowl. It'll be 4 to the team from Howick.
Certainly there's...
Helen again, quickly into her work. Looks a better line.
It does.
About the speed though, how's she going to...
Not too rough, I don't think.
Yeah, hard to tell. Pretty good, certainly cuts a couple out, so yeah, good shot.
Yeah, that's third.
So no reason for Penny not to come down the same hand.
No. While they're changing over, this would normally be where, if either of us was on the commentary, we'd be, with Brendan, we'd be taxing him for some gossip, but I'm sure you don't know any, and I know I don't know any, so...
No, I'm not a gossip man, really, Paul.
No,
we'll leave that to Brendan.
We have to stick to the facts, I would assume.
We
so
do.
That's not a bad thing.
We do, but do join us on Facebook on the conversation with Auckland Bowl Centre Finals. Be great to hear. No complaints about the commentary, please, from our earpiece. But or you can comment if you want to. Up to you entirely.
The crowd can think what they like.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, exactly. It's all very entertaining stuff, I'd imagine. I haven't heard any from anybody regarding the umpire scenario with the bowl. So unless it's been on Facebook, I can't see the Facebook.
No.
So.
They were possibly thinking it was too tough for a Sunday morning.
Right, so she's got a little tighter. She's holding up well. Just going to duck away by the looks of it. Yeah, still a couple for the Howick combination.
Definitely two. First one ran through by a ways, according to Sue's signal.
Body language tells us that she's a bit concerned for some reason, and probably, yeah, not quite got the speed or the green to do any damage. So, last bowl here from Estelle.
It's where the skips earn their money, isn't it?
Indeed.
Line's not too awful.
I don't know about the speed.
I think it's low.
What's the speed? Helen's. Well, no, it's still coming. Not quite. Needs a little.
Not enough.
possibly 2.
I heard
yep,
2 being mentioned.
Signal,
Yep. So 4-5 in favour of Carlton Cornwall after 5 ends.
Well, you would think the mat and the jack will be going a very similar spot to that.
I could see no reason to change.
They really had the better of the most of the end there, didn't they?
Well, Carlton Cornwall never got into the end.
No.
That was the thing. When Estelle got down the business end, she had nothing to work with. She was always looking for a recovery shot, and here we go, shorter end.
And that's triples in a nutshell. That's quite a short end this time now.
Yep.
I think that'll be shorter than last time.
No. Hasn't been challenged, so
no,
it's obviously
it must be okay.
I didn't realise Ting had won the Howick Club singles, because that is a good win, especially given the calibre of player that there is at Howick in the women's section. They're very strong.
Well, you've got the current Auckland senior singles winner, haven't you?
Yeah, Hannah Dawson is out there.
Yeah.
Yep. And as I say, Penny Yam is an accomplished singles player, and there are quite a lot who have performed well in Auckland championships over varying number of years, but this is more like it, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
coming this way. Much tidier start from both leads.
So Ting's decided to come up and down this side of the rink.
Yeah, it looks like she's settled into that side, and once she does that, she settles into her work pretty well.
Pretty good line again. Sure about the speed this time. Not quite.
Not ghastly, but
no.
I don't know. Again, with the perspective, it's hard.
I'd rather be the bowler of Janine's than the bowler of Ting's. Obviously,
I would agree with that.
So yeah, you got every opportunity to land the jack. It's certainly coming back nicely on that hand, isn't it? Even on a shortish end. Phew, wouldn't say that on St. Paddy's Day, would you? That's quite come back nicely.
And that's probably the best work we've seen from the two leads over their 4 bowls in the game so far. So
it is. Yep.
They're getting the hang of it.
Oh, a little bit of both here, I think, from Sue. So this is made for Helen.
Yep.
Sitting the jack.
I thought I heard in a light South African accent 1 down, which would be Estelle talking to her troops. They won't be for much longer.
Maybe. No, got 1. No, very good.
But falling in, I think, is definitely shot.
Yep. So not too much discussion. Quickly told Sue that you're same scenario again. Bit of line this time.
Didn't seem to be any thought about changing hands to the open hand.
No, she's
going to do well here.
I think she might have done it. Yeah,
she's got it.
Yep. 1 down.
One down again.
So Helen on the forehand now. Any move in the jack is good for the Carlton team.
There's no danger you're going to run anything else into the head, so you can play fairly
I don't think she's not here. That's not like Helen. I would have thought every opportunity, anything past the jack is with the jack in tow is good for the Carlton Cornwall team.
And the line wasn't bad, but boy, somebody let the air out of the tyres because it just died.
So Penny would be on the forehand, I'd imagine. Nope, backhand, of course. What would I know?
I think she tends to play that. That's her default setting, I think, is backhand.
Not quite got that. She got the speed to come follow through. Not quite.
Not quite.
So yeah, I think you'd find Estelle would definitely be reaching through here. Every opportunity to.
Not with that, she won't be. Well, she'll be reaching,
Yeah.
but it's, I think, asking a little much from out there. Not to the point where it needed an Uber chit, but it was still asking a little much.
Yep.
She came back to the line of the jack, but
So again, same scenario. Just got to add probably another metre. She wouldn't mind if she's gone through the head, to be fair, because again, there's nothing. None of their bowls are past the head, and this is going to be. Well, if it stays on, it must be because it's got a long head. So that's good for them. I think that's a good. Doesn't matter where it went over the head. At least they got a bowl past the jack. Underneath through the pink bowl, or jack is Estelle's path.
yeah, if she gets it with the mat on and takes the jack for a little walk, it could be quite ugly for Howick.
Doesn't like it.
Doesn't look happy with that.
She's gone from being too wide to too narrow, unfortunately. So
Yep, one Howick. So we're tied up after 6 ends at 5 apiece. And Howick have just got into their stride. They've picked up the last 3 ends after dropping that 4. And they are very much in this contest. There hasn't really been a standout yet. And to be fair, there's not really a player who is standing out at this stage.
No, they've all had their turns, haven't they, really? They've all had a, I think Ting is her, she's a bit more consistent than she in the first couple of ends, so she's probably been round about it.
Yeah.
But none of them have been going badly, it's just,
They haven't been going badly, but nobody's taken the game by the scruff and given it a good shake just yet. And none of them have said to their opponent, beat that if you can, because I don't think you can.
Again, Ting staying on the left-hand side as we look at of the rink for her bowls. Pretty tidy start. Gone to a longer length end, interestingly enough, Paul, after having had success with the shorter length end for the last 2 times they've come this way.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was part of the plan. I think the jack got a bit more oomph in it than was intended.
Again, that's over, but the shot from Janine, bit of metre.
Yeah, there's plenty of extending both arms going on down at the top end.
Yeah, pretty good.
Still got to run through a bit. Not as much as the last.
Good enough.
It's got to be a mat behind, though.
Tidy.
Still plenty of room to get in there.
Very tidy.
There you go. Still Hickey, Janine, Browne and Helen Blick won back-to-back centre triples titles a couple of years ago. A steady combination. We saw before that Estelle has 6 centre titles. I know Helen's got a gold star, so that means she's got at least 5. And Janine is a newer player, would have, I'm pretty sure it's just the 2. When you say just the 2, most of us never get to just the 1. So it's a well-performed combination over a few years now.
100%.
There we go.
Well, that's probably counting.
I would say, yeah.
Probably counting. So again, it's triples being a being drawing game. You just got to keep getting handy, keep plugging away, don't you? Get bowls handy.
5 centre titles for Helen. So, yes, she does have a gold star. And she's also got a good bowl.
Yeah, very good shot, yeah. Very good.
Hear a voice from the far side graphics is making us look good. I don't agree with that, Simon. I think we're good already.
Well, I wasn't going to say too much. I didn't want to say too much, really.
I've known these guys for a long, long time,
yeah,
so they don't expect me to be polite when I'm talking about them.
Have we had any commentary complaints yet? Do you know, Paul? I'm not sure.
Only from the room next door.
Right, okay. Excellent. So Helen again, I'm reasonably not sure about the speed this time.
She gets inside that blue bowl, she's probably second shot. Not quite, eh?
Not quite there, but she played a good one. Played the one that counted, that gives them the shot, so...
Well, yeah, Carlton Cornwall would be pleased to get the mat back because they haven't seen it for a little while.
Exactly.
And seems to be a good muster of people watching over at Mount Eden
coming along, absolutely, yeah.
Some of them are going to be involved. We see players who are involved wandering through the back of shot from time to time. But what's on the cards over there today, there's some pretty good games and some pretty good teams and players involved.
Absolutely. Well, they've come through all the entries from, obviously, from the section play to post section and won their way through to here. So they've played a fair few games to get here.
Yeah.
Is she going to turn enough? Is she going to turn in time or great effort?
Close. Yeah, and as is often the case, which you would expect, of course, was the centre championships involved a lot of tough bowls, but also a lot of good players getting taken out along the way.
Absolutely, yep.
And so if you're still standing, it says two things. One, you can play, and two, you have played. So we're still asking for a...
Speed's not bad, probably, maybe, don't think so.
Let's have a look. We might get a message. They're having a wee nose. Second shot.
Yep. So look, same scenario. Look, I mean, the speed was good. Any movement, obviously, you can see those three lovely pink balls behind the head. They will come into play.
Yep. And you have one right beside the jack you could sit on and just turn over once and get it out of there.
Yes. I'm trying to get a score. You can see probably in the top left of your screens is a fine, close here. Just going to duck away. Good speed again.
Yeah.
Fair effort.
That really could have turned things around, couldn't it?
Men's singles has been played to the left, or to left, as you see from the ladies, between Zoran Bartalovic and David Motu. I will endeavour to try and get a score update for you. It doesn't seem to be... Okay, I've got a score in my ear. 11-3 is the score. David Motu leads from in the final here against Zoran. Very good. One shot, we think.
Well, one's come out.
To the Carlton Cornwall, yes, and one has been...
One it is.
Yes. So back on the horse for the Carlton team.
Yeah, well, they'll be pleased with that because they got that very nice start with the 4 on the second end, but since then Howick settled into their work and Carlton Cornwall were at times scratching to limit the damage, but they hadn't had much sitting in and around the jack.
Yeah, so long jack here, so we're going to have to get some movement from our cameras to make sure that we can see where the jack is and what's happening. I'm sure our technical team will be onto that because they're extremely good. They're extremely good.
The bowl's just just about disappeared out of the bottom of shot, which is where the jack is, so it's got to be in the neighbourhood somewhere.
That's definitely shot anyway.
There's no hiding much from you, is there?
Oh, sharp as a tack. So here we go. Look at that. Fantastic. Look at, I knew our guys next door were bloody brilliant. Oh, language, sorry. Were very good. So it's forced that first bowl of Janine's forced Ting back on the other hand, which is surprising because she's been playing really well on that backhand. I don't know why. There's plenty of room inside and outside of that bowl, but anyway.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see her go the other way because she had got that. It is the eastern side of the rink. She had that working for her. And as a lead, you don't normally have too many concerns about one bowl in your way because
that's probably Janine's worst bowl of the entire final.
Yeah, it's a bit rough, that one.
Yeah, I'm surprised really that Ting hasn't gone back to the back end, but anyway, she's got a very deliberate stance and style there, hasn't she?
Yep. Yeah, as I say, you can wait a while between bowls if you're playing against her in a 2-4-2 or something.
Definitely tighter to line. If the speed's good though, she might hold up. Not quite there.
Penny's urging it on, and it doesn't listen like a teenager.
I thought you were going to say woman, but no.
No, I would never say anything like that.
Not advisable.
No.
Then the complaints would be flowing in.
Yeah, I'm staying right out of this.
Sure.
You've dug the hole. You can get out of it.
No. So speed is good again from Helen, but just that side of the rink is just definitely taking more green than the other side.
Yeah, if you undercut your line, that's going to bite on you.
Yep.
And sometimes it's very hard to chuck a bowl out there and think, oh, this is going to come back, when you realise you just have this little fear that if it doesn't work, you're going to be stuck way out on the wing and nobody's going to pass you the ball.
It's going to be a pretty good spot there. Probably third shot there.
No, it's second at worst for mine because it's right on the 2 metre line. So
might have to beg to differ, but anyway, carrying on.
Well, from the reaction from Penny, I suspect she thought it might have been the first shot.
Oh, here we go. Helen Blick. Little feather off the... no, she got the whole chalk, not the feather.
Yeah, here we go. We're having a way look.
Try again.
One down.
One down.
Wait's good.
It's a bit of line, I reckon. Yeah, it just all depends on the speed. A little bit quick, I think. Yeah, a little bit quick, I think. Gets a little tickle. Don't know where that must have stayed on because she hasn't reached to get it out of the ditch. So
it's the only one back there too because I can see 7 in shot. Corporate decision being taken at the highest level.
Exactly. What's it? Is that a shark on the back of that?
Yep, Howick hammerheads.
Howick hammerheads, wow, okay.
I've not seen too many at the beach down there, but if there are some, it's nice to be forewarned, isn't it?
Exactly. Updated the score from the men's singles final between Davy Motu and Zoran Bartolovic. It is now 11-5 to Davy. Plenty of time there for both players. First to 21, of course, and that final with no time limit and no ends required, no end restrictions.
And again, 2 of the brighter young things in Auckland bowls because they Davy's been playing for slightly longer, but I think he's year 8 and Zoran's year 7.
Right.
So they're, again, they're guys who have taken to the game quickly and have worked hard on their game, obviously, to get where they've got.
Yeah, both players in the Auckland inner centre team.
Yes, yeah, and Zoran can, when he's on his game, he can be very difficult to shift. He's another one who's patient and steady, while David, for a young guy, has already achieved a lot in the game.
I think just a bit quick here from Penny.
Yeah, we should talk about what's on the telly that the people at home are watching.
No,
really,
yeah,
shouldn't we?
they're okay. I'm sure they're fine with that. Good speed, I reckon. If she's underneath that, she can turn her own pink one over. So, but just Estelle looking to consolidate here, get another one on the head. Definitely on the tighter side than last time.
Depends what she hits, I think.
Yeah, interesting here. She
She'll
hasn't hit
spring
that one.
bolt. Oh, yeah.
Oh, she might have.
It was pretty locked. That may be a second shot. Yep. Saw two fingers go down.
Yeah, pretty much that's all you got it on. You don't want to be chipping. Hard to chip your own ball out, but still, she wasn't far away with the first one.
Well, it looks like there's a circle of about a mat radius to draw into, which when you're practicing can be the easiest thing in the world, and when you're playing it's impossible. And I don't think this has done it.
No. Bit of both, I think.
I suspect we're going to see two fingers go up here. That's obviously one.
So having a bit of a look, not giving it away. Ting's going. Oh no, you measure.
Oh,
You see. Yeah, once you got the measure out, though, I don't see any reason why you're doing the finger measure.
No. You get that out of the way exactly. And then get the measure out.
Yeah, they're both bowls are sitting flat. It's perfect. You know.
I think it was fairly straightforward.
Two shots it is.
So it gives them a little buffer, which they lost their lead, but they're now back in front by 8 shots to 5 after 8 ends, getting close to halfway, and nobody's really taken the game by the scruff of the neck yet.
Carlton legend there, Wally Marsick in the background. Come to watch his ladies. Oh, this might be a bit speedy, I think, Janine.
Yeah, that's
definitely
got some pepper on it.
Yes, it has. Got to go back. So, as we mentioned before, those who don't play the game in this sort of format, where in a centre event, if the jack is thrown, either too short or too long, or thrown out, the opposition gets the option of throwing the jack again. If it gets thrown out again or incorrectly thrown, then the jack automatically goes on the 2 metre mark, and the mat can be placed wherever the non-offending team with the second throw wants to put it.
Yeah,
as long 23 metres.
You see Ting brought the mat up a bit and dropped the jack a lot shorter. This was where they were doing well, so it was fairly obvious she was going to try and do something like that, because they picked up points on 3 consecutive ends at this sort of length, and then made a mistake with the delivery, lost control of the mat, and we've dropped 3 points.
Update on the men's singles final, 12-5 to David Motu.
That's a good start from Janine, mind.
Very good start.
About a mat through.
You take that every day of the week, wouldn't we, Paul, as a skip?
Yep. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Or as a singles player, you're quite happy to get one of those in there early doors.
Correct.
Here comes the return of serve into the net. Bit short.
Plenty of room for Janine, really. Don't know. She's decided. It's funny, isn't it? From 20 odd metres away, you can look and go, that's in my way. Whereas if you're standing on the head, it's not actually in your way, is it? It's a good metre away. You keep your nice green. You've got a same bowl, but she's
So
played
that's not a bad.
played a snorter anyway. On the forehand, she's changed and played a good bowl anyway. But yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the best calls you can get from the head, actually, is it's not in your way.
Until you hit it.
Well, if you hit it, that's just the way it is.
It is.
But if you get told it's not in your way, it's 2 match short or a metre and a half short or something, if you hit it, you hit it.
Yep. Fairly good effort here from Ting. Yeah.
Yeah, this will rest the bowl out, I suspect. No, not quite.
Fair effort.
Okay.
Good second.
Well, it is. And that jack is also almost locked in by the bowl of Janine's that got just pushed in a bit.
Helen make a good jockey too, wouldn't she? She rides him like anything, doesn't she?
Yeah.
It's amazing. She played a goodie too, I think.
Tell you what, this might not be far away.
And a very big nuisance bowl, that isn't it? You know, that bowl, sort of a foot and a half right in the line of the jack, is one of those bowls which makes the opposition just think about what they're doing, how far around they've got to go past it, and I don't want to hit it in.
Does stupid things to your head because you know that the jack hasn't moved. You know the jack is on the dotted line.
She gets past Ting, not going to though. But it's handy.
Well, that's useful.
That works.
It's obviously the good weight because that bowl was lying on its belly too. So to tip it up that far, she's put a very good second in there now.
I don't know from her body language whether she likes it or not, because it's coming nicely. She's got the speed. She's not quite got the speed.
Not quite.
Well, same speed, same bowl. Really, if she misses, she gets past the head through to that black one, the back black one. But she can land onto Ting's bowl. Every opportunity to sit it over square. Zoran is coming back in the men's singles final. Is now 7-12.
Those guys could be going for a while yet. They're both very good players.
Not sure she's got the speed to do all.
I tell you what, it's not a million miles away, but it's not shot.
No. You look, Penny will definitely need to have a bit more speed on that, probably a metre of speed.
I think something in the back here might be quite nice because Estelle's almost got a green light to go with either hand, and either if she gets Ting's pink bowl, she could push the shot bowl out of there, or if she gets the blue bowl, just push it through the head and go with it. So there's options, and if you were Howick holding shot, you would very much like to have one a foot or so behind the jack. That would be a good place to have it. If a decision has been made, didn't seem to involve a whole lot of arguing. I think they're both on the same page.
So where we go? We're going the backhand.
I would imagine so. Actually, I wouldn't have imagined so. I would have imagined the forehand. Possibly the more forgiving hand for the break, though. So
This is an interesting sort of option here. Oh, tell you what,
it's not the worst.
Now it is now. Oh no, they've still got one. By virtue of the pole sitting over, they've still got one.
Yeah, because that would have given us a really interesting scenario if the jack was touching both bowls. It is a 0 end, but it counts as an end played.
It's called a drawn end.
Yep.
In terms of what happens.
Yeah.
But it's now on for Penny. Now looks like if she actually got onto her pink bowl, the black bowl or whatever colour it is, very dark, is going to send the jack to, as we look to the left, which is all the Carlton Cornwall bowl. So, yes, unsure.
At worst, I think I'd be tempted to give away one and walk away rather than risk giving away two or three if if I got it wrong. Especially if you can't see an easy way to get it right. But anyway, here we go. A little bit of pace on it.
Yeah, a bit tight on it.
Not a whole lot of pace.
No,
actually,
but actually, to be fair, if she stays on the rink, she's actually not bad. Because that wouldn't be the worst spot, to be fair. Because I think that's where the jack, looking from where we are, our perspective, I would think the jack's going to go to the left.
Well, yeah, because if the jack goes out to about 9 o'clock, without that bowl there, it was probably 3 down. With that bowl there, it's probably 1 down.
Yep.
So that's a very good insurance bowl.
Yep. Accidentally, but anyway.
Most insurance is about accidents.
Yes, true.
So you don't worry about
Mishap,
that too
mistake,
much.
and what's the other one? Mishap, mistake, and what's it, Ed?
Decline. Sorry, no, we're not talking like that, are we?
No. So, on the forehand this time, going out to that side of the rink, which is where I think that's which probably would have been the first time, but anyway. Yep.
That's a useful place to put it too.
So as you say, Paul, it's almost look. It's dead weight to sit the pink up and over, to get onto the black bowl onto the jack, to sit at a foot for a shot for Sue's.
Yeah.
Or you miss.
I think a good old coward's bowl is probably called for here, or a practice to do something else, draw to the tee or something.
Fair effort.
But on that hand, there's just no way you can get to the.
Oh, sits down.
Yes, you had to rattle that blue bowl hard though, because
that's a great vision.
Yeah.
So one we think to Carlton Cornwall, don't we?
Oh, it had to be.
Yep.
So 9-5 after 9 ends. We're halfway through.
And in the men's final, it is now 13-7 to David Motu over Zoran Bartolovic. Yeah, we're just seeing the bowl of Estelle's coming in here. It was quite a funny scenario there. For second it was 2 touches, and then it all sat down.
Yeah, just slid off.
Yeah.
That was about as good an end as we've had, and there are a lot of good bowls played in there. And to be fair, the skips really didn't have a whole lot that they could do, short of rearranging the furniture quite significantly.
Yep.
You couldn't just dead draw on that. It was a bit hard, and it was a bit hidden. So everybody played some pretty good shots. But now we've just, the last 3 ends, Carlton Cornwall's gone 1-2-1, which is what Howick did to them in the 3 preceding ends. So we're now back to the 4-point margin that there was early on.
And Ting's gone back to her preferred hand, but she's unfortunately had the speed beautiful, but not quite the grass or the green.
Yeah, well, this time Carlton put up the shorter end, so
interesting. Yeah,
it's just a bit different.
It's a bit on the narrow side too, I think, but it's and going a bit. So plenty of room for Ting to make the adjustment.
Yep. If that's an accurate measure, it suggests that there is room for everybody closer to the jack.
Penny's again concerned about the green that Ting's taken, and probably correctly so.
Yeah, you can still see those tracks, and whether or not there is clearly visible when you're standing on the mat is a different story. But you do get those 2 arcs forming as the game goes on, and after 9 ends of, what is it, 6 bowls a team, 12 bowls an end for 9 ends. There's been over 100 bowls played in the game so far, so you will start to get those slightly marked tracks.
And you'd think the ladies from Howick would be more attuned to a wide green, because their greens at Howick are extremely wide and extremely fast, aren't they? So they'd be
great to play on.
Oh, yeah, exactly, 100%. But you get value if you take your green, don't you? So
yeah.
So the ladies from Howick should be used throwing the bowl out and letting the green do the work. Helen doesn't like it.
No, she hasn't turned her back on it, but I think she gave it up some time ago.
So 1 to Sue. Same again. Plenty of room again.
She's got nothing to be worried about in that short stuff. That's not in the way. She can easily draw around it.
So I think the ladies have forgotten that we've got cameras on them again now. Two good shots from Sue.
Two good balls.
Yeah, two good balls.
You take those?
You will. So you'd think that Estelle would be coming down that same hand and attempting to rest those bowls or onto the jack.
Well, she's got target, hasn't she?
She has.
And often the world's best cushion is somebody else's bowl. Especially if it's your opposition and they're holding a couple and you can sit your bowl on the inside of theirs. It's makes you feel pretty good as a rule. And they're side by side, so the target is best part of a foot wide.
Yep, down the forehand.
Yep. We are talking about a quality of player to whom a foot wide is actually a fairly good target. Yeah, this will be neighbourhood, I suspect. She gets around that short one. She's right in the picture. No, she hasn't done it.
Yeah, well, no reason for Penny not to come down the same path, same track. But,
absolutely.
But she's coming down the back end, okay?
Yeah, although, as I said before, this does tend to be her default option. The times I've seen her playing singles, she lives on the backhand out of choice.
Right.
And again, she's got a clear shot at it.
A nice line too, I think.
Yeah, and gets past the short
Not sure
bowl
about the
she's counting.
speed, yeah, just a lovely line, but just that metre of weight. Yep. Oh, she's going to the backhand. Interesting. Okay. Nothing in the way, of course, but nothing to rest on either if she's a bit heavy. The forehand she had bowls to rest on if she was heavy.
That is a pretty good line. Tell you what, they're starting to get interested.
Not quite the speed, eh?
No, flat tyres on the way down.
Well, I think that's surely dictates that she must. Oh no, she's gonna. Okay.
Well, she's got a circle more than a metre in diameter to draw, metre in radius to draw into, so 2 metres in diameter. Again, it's something you do all the time in practice, but it becomes a great deal harder in a game.
Just quickly, while this bowl's on the way, it's now 13-9 to David Motu over Zoran Batulovic in the final of the men's singles.
I think
I'm not sure, no speed. No speed.
Yeah, it needed another foot, didn't it?
Looks like 2, and it's 2.
2 shots to Howick, so they get back on the horse. 9-7 after 10 ends.
So where are we going with the mat here? Going up a little bit.
An interesting thought just popped into my head. Why did Carlton Cornwall play a short end when Howick has been doing better on the short ends?
Exactly. Did they throw it by mistake? Perchance?
I don't know it was what they were planning to do. So it's 9-7 to Carlton Cornwall over Howick. 10 ends in.
You can see in the top left-hand corner, we can't now. We did see in the left-hand top corner that David Motu had 2 or 3 shots on the head there against Zoran.
Okay, you were quicker on the uptake than I was.
Oh, there we go. See, Davey's got the brown / mud-coloured bowls.
Yeah, he's used those for ages. I just thought out loud, why did Carlton Cornwall change to playing a short end when they haven't been going so well? And the same little voice is saying, why has Howick gone almost
Long,
full
yeah,
length
exactly.
when they haven't been doing so well with those ones?
Yeah, correct.
If Janine gets a nice little rest on the inside of this, which she fails to do.
So plenty of room here for Ting Ting.
Looks like there's a jack wandering into the adjacent rink. I heard people saluting Davey, so I'm assuming that Zoran had a few shots until that point.
Very good bowl there for Ting Ting. So back to the Janine with her. I think she's got SRV's terrible bowl. Sorry, SRV bowls, Paul.
Yeah, that's what I seem to remember from when we played at the same club together.
Yeah, it's SRV's. One of the tighter bowls in the Taylor range. Suit a nice fast green.
Yeah, that's what I used, to be fair. And I quite like the fact that they're tight, because for me, singles or leading in a pair was bowls for me.
Yep.
I've always been very happy with them.
It's more about the bowler than the bowl, isn't it, really?
Oh, yeah. The old Marmalade Marlins, they became reasonably well known around.
Okay, here's Helen on her backhand, just trying to get one reasonably handy, and has done so.
This will be second shot at worst.
Yeah, reasonably good.
Yeah, I see Penny's still comfortable that they're holding.
That's a good suggestion. Yep, forehand down to Helen's bowl, set the pink bowl up and over. Tony Grantham in the background, getting ready for his finale of the day.
Well, they're next up on the telly rank, aren't they?
They are.
Albert playing Auckland in the men's triples, but there's a long way to go in the women's triples before we get to that point.
Yeah, stays on the islands. Pretty good bowl there. Just a little under this time from Helen, who's playing with Taylor Redline SRs, I believe.
Okay.
So really, that bowl's not on the way for Penny to be going on the forehand, just to sit Ting Ting's over just underneath or around it, just to get another bowl handy.
It probably might be a good marker, I guess, is what you'd say, because if you get the inside of it as a skip, if you've got the good weight and it's breaking, you get the inside of it, you're not going to be far off the jab.
No.
There's still plenty of room for either of these two skips to get something in there and really put the heat on the end.
Yep, as suspected, coming down the forehand. Looks a little on the narrow side, just
it does.
Speed.
It does.
Speed might be a nuisance bowl for Estelle there, you would think. So it's a probably happy accident.
She gets the inside of Helen's bowl here. She's not going to be far away if she's got the good weight. And they're one down at the moment.
Exactly.
So,
one down.
So they're not going to drop a bunch.
No, going backhand still, so probably coming underneath then, you'd think.
Things at a fair angle, isn't it, in the hand? Comes out all right. She's given it a fright.
Good girl, Helen. Well done. So,
I think the Howick ladies are a bit too polite to say, well, gee, it's not your head anymore, get out the way.
Got it away nicely. Better line, I reckon.
Yeah, gets under that wing bolt. She's probably counting
just
two.
depends on speed. How's the speed? I'm not sure she's going to get there. Is she going to get there? No.
No.
2 feet of weight. 2 feet from a great bowl. So again, that happy exit of Penny's with the first one is just probably in Estelle's eye. Definitely on the tighter side this time.
No, I think they're giving this one away.
Yeah, not there, no.
So there's one gone. Oh, they might be having a wee measure, eh?
Having a wee goosey.
There's both of Helen's bowls will be in this measure, I'd imagine.
Just asking the opposition which one do you want measured, and they said that one, the flat one, please, first. And it's in by a margin.
Yeah. So just the one to Howick. Gets us up to 8-9 after 11 ends. So
I've had some misinformation from Bowls Auckland CEO Dean Bartlett. He told me that Ryan had got to 9 shots in the final of the men's singles, and evidently it's now 16-8. So I'm not sure how Zoran got deducted a shot.
oh,
But
he
anyway,
must have had a rough end.
must
after
rough
that.
it and lost one. So it's now 16-8 to Dave Motu in the race to 21. So a bit of a commanding lead there. Nothing, obviously, nothing's happened to finish the game yet, but certainly in the ascendancy is David Motu there.
Yeah, well, for a young guy, and he's left school only the end of last year, if I remember rightly. He's achieved a lot as a singles player. He's very relaxed and
Got a
patient.
great attitude, yep, on the rink, yep, for sure.
But he has achieved a lot, and obviously he's got an awful lot more in front of him. Here we go. Ting's drawn a bead on the jack. That's really the first one of those we've seen from either side all day.
Yep.
A nice little front toucher. Penny's giving the chalk a shake. This is where Janine tends to do nasty things like beat your shot bowl.
She's got enough speed to do something. Ooh.
Right. Bit of chalk on each bolt.
So rinse repeat from Ting here.
What have we got? Working into quite
Coming
a good
home
position
nice.
there.
Yeah, coming home nicely, just a smidgen wide.
It was actually pretty good to the centre line. Jack's not there, of course.
Does it know? Janine's still on the back end, by the looks of it.
Bit of pace on this, but she might get
a bit lucky.
something here.
Yeah, that's the danger of those wing bowls, isn't it? You got lucky. Tell story, better to be lucky than good.
Yep. Actually, this is a game where luck hasn't played a big part, isn't it?
No, exactly. Well, I mean, to be fair, there's not a lot of shots where they've been sort of probing through the head to get a lucky or unlucky result, really, have they? There's been mainly...
You're not getting those dirty little slides off bowls. None of them have been missing their target by a metre and getting some dirty little slide that puts them on top of the jack.
Yeah.
Which is the one that makes you say nasty things under your breath.
It's mainly just been draw bowl, so...
Yeah. Good note here from Helen. So the Shade Systems Champion of Champions of Auckland coming up from the 9th of May. There will be some very good games in there because, of course, to qualify for that, you have to win your club title in the discipline. And you see some unusual players occasionally emerging from a club where you'd think there's, you know, it might be down to this combination or that combination or this singles player. But they've had a good year, tipped out the favoured one, and then they progress nicely through the tournament. And you'll see some very good bowls in that. Head going down suggested that one ran out of oomph.
Ran the puff, yep. So yeah, I don't know. What do you reckon? As you say, you normally favour the jack level bowl, but I don't know.
I think, well, I saw Benny have a wee measure, but she gave it up fairly quickly,
right.
So I'm not sure which way it was.
Yep. So look, all in her favour anyway. The backhand, she either draws to Ting Ting's bowl.
Yeah, you've also got the interesting situation with those bowls that the jack level one is up on its running edge and the other one is lying on its belly.
Yep.
Which you might not realise the difference it makes, but it can be a couple of inches.
Mm. As you can see in that graphic we just saw, it's now 16-10 to Davy Motu over Zoran Botolovic.
Yeah, she gets the inside of that bowl standing up.
She's a little quick, isn't she? I think she's just submerging quick. So, for those of you who do want to see all the other results, you can go to the Auckland Bowls Auckland website there. As you can see on the graphics, find out all the events and all the info for the centre finals. It's a great website, very, very good, very informative, very easy to navigate. So, have a crack, get in there and have a look-see.
When the finals are on, I'll be honest, I'm fairly regularly in there.
Yes, me too.
It's one of the default options that I get given as websites most frequently visited.
Yep. Here we go up the top on the left, www.bowlsauckland.co.nz. Get on there.
And like a lot of us, the fact that I'm a regular visitor to that website says that I'm not influencing the course of play in the games they're covering.
She gets a pink. If she gets a bit of the pink, she just needed the speed again. Was
oh, great, because it would have turned that pink bowl over one roll, and that would have sorted out the shot.
Oh, so okay, well there you go. And yeah, it's a valid call from Helen. The only thing she's going to do is get a little edge off the front bowl and nick the jack to her left as we look at it. But depends what speed.
I'm just wondering if this is because she's one down, or because they want to shift the orphan bowl in there
wide anyway.
Yeah, we'll never know.
So now we'll know now what's going on with who's got the shot.
Yep. Out comes the tape again.
Now, for those of you who are newish bowlers, if you get a scenario where you've got two bowls you have to measure, and one is flat and one is standing up, you measure the flat bowl first, because you can get a good scrape against the side of the bowl, and you won't move the bowl.
Yeah.
So it's definitely one to
two.
Yeah, wow, you wouldn't think so, would you? Wouldn't have thought so. No. So it's just a wee tip for the newer bowlers. If there's two bowls, one flats, one standing up, and you only got to measure one of each, you always measure the sitting bowl first, so you can get a scrape and good edge on that bowl.
Yeah, well, one to Carlton Cornwall, so they tick into double figures. And we're 2/3 of the way through, and it's still anybody's game, really.
Absolutely.
Although
nothing in it, just like my bank balance.
Yeah, that's a problem that you don't have on your own, it has to be said. I just get the feeling that Howick might possibly, well, being behind, they obviously have a bit of ground to make up, but if of the 6 ends, if Carlton Cornwall win 3, they will probably win the game. And whereas Howick probably have to win 4 unless anybody gets a big number, and we've only had one above 2 in the whole game, and that was the second end. So it's developed into a game where there's not much in it. And I'd certainly rather be where Carlton Cornwall is than where Howick is at the moment.
Correct, yep.
But I suspect 3 ends for the Carlton Cornwall team will be enough to secure the title for them. I could well be wrong, of course. It has been known to happen. I think the last time was July 1983, but I could be wrong about that.
I wasn't born. Oh, no, I was.
Well, that's a good start here from Ting.
From Ting, yep.
All right, well, when you need to start winning ends, that's not a bad way to go about it.
100%, yep, absolutely.
Bowls Auckland has 38 clubs across the central city, ideal for functions, events, or to play bowls at. And there are a number of them. I tell you what, this isn't the worst
Janine
either.
has got to get edge and get the jack, and that's fantastic. So what happens when you're up? When you got a chance, if you're through the head, you got a chance, haven't you? Nothing but short, as they say.
Yeah. So no, there's bowling clubs in most suburbs around. There's a lot of them.
At least one, yeah.
Established clubs. Yeah, we talked at the top of the show that a lot of the clubs in central Auckland have been around for more than 100 years, and some of them for quite a lot more than 100 years. And there are, traditions involved with those places, but also a venue which is well established.
Well, I'm going to unashamedly tell you, Paul, that I took over as club manager for the Henderson Bowling Club a month ago.
Yep.
And it is our 100th year centenary this year.
Okay. Yep.
Which is fantastic. And we will be having a centenary tournament in early October, hopefully.
Yep.
But again, it's a club steeped in tradition, like most of the clubs over 100 years are.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's one of those things where they are becoming more of a community hub where you can have your Friday afternoon, a couple of quiet drinks and a bit of bowls happening.
The barefoot bowls and the social bowls leagues are becoming really big things at just about every club in Auckland. Gee, this is about as rough as we've seen in the whole day.
Sue's, that's not her best one.
I don't think that came out right.
No.
But the Friday night social bowls leagues are big around a lot of Auckland at the moment. And you actually finish up, Bowls Auckland has a social bowls league finals day, which they play at Mount Eden, and it's
another good shot from Helen.
Yeah, very nice. And that draws all sorts of people, and a lot of them just play because it's a bit of fun. They play with workmates. A lot of the clubs have wait lists to get into those tournaments. That's how popular it's becoming. And
sports historian.
A sports historian, indeed I am.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, Ponsonby Rugby Club is my main interest at the moment. I've been a member there for well over 30 years.
Wow, well, sorry to interrupt there, Paul, but that's could be disastrous end for the team from Howick.
It's not looking good, is it?
Sprayed them far and wide this end. They really have. That's probably Sue's, unfortunately, is 2 worst bowls of the whole game. Yeah, well,
you're looking at 3 shots. It has to be 3 shots.
I mean, there's plenty of room for pending in there, but it's obviously the length and with the jack being moved has sort of put everyone else out of sync.
Well, remember too that the bowl of Ting's, the pink bowl that's behind the head, was actually a toucher, but it got run out of town by Janine, and she took the jack back, and then Helen took the jack further back. Yeah. So it's.
So this could be. I mean, like with 6 ends to go, this could be crucial. You drop a 3 or 4 here, suddenly the margin is 5 or 6.
Penny would walk out of this with 1 down, and she would have a smile on her face. I suspect.
I think that's in the ditch unless he gets a wee edge. That's in the ditch from. Yep. So look, plenty of room to be fair for Penny just to sit something, grab the jack, all sorts going for her.
Yeah, she can beat the wing bowl at 2 o'clock as we looked at it, which would be 7 o'clock 8 o'clock is you see it from the mat. She's going to have to bowl a better one than that if she wants to get
No, I don't know about that
lead,
either. That's
the count below 2. And really, if you get the count below 2, you'd be looking at drawing a shot, wouldn't you?
so that's a good metre of speed anyway, and a good metre of green there. So that's puts a bit of pressure on the last one. I see in the background there, Roz and Dean Bartlett from Bowls Auckland get ready with the sausages.
That's probably why he put your crook on the score, because he's too worried about the barbecue.
Having a feed, yeah. 16-13 now to Davey Monty over Zoran Botolovic.
This is
That's
useful.
tightening up.
This is useful.
This is 4.
This is a count up.
So
and it's a very good counter.
Really big bowl here from, really big bowl here for Penny.
Yeah.
You got to give it a chance. You end of the day, if you're up, you've got a chance. You've got a chance of sitting something.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no point being on the 2 metre mark.
No,
none at all.
No point being timid here. You've just got to make sure you give it a chance.
I mean, really, if you're going to lose your bowl, you lose it in the ditch rather than short.
Yep. Not much emotion up from the get-go. I think
she's got her line right.
Yeah.
Tell you what, she's not a long way away.
Oh, seriously, this is going to be. Is it going to be sensational?
It's going to be so. That's a great bowl because she's cut it.
Seriously, she's probably going to be still 3 down, but she's played a snorter. Maybe 2.
I reckon she's only 2 at most. That's definitely the shot. No problem.
I was going to say you picked it up already. Now you can't put it back down, Sue.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is big. That was a great shot for Minning. Very good save. Very good save.
That was the best she could do, short of taking the jack into the ditch. But if she gets out of this 1 down, she's just played an absolute bomb. No, looks like a couple. Yep.
But 2 was better than she cut the damage down from 4 to 2, so she's done extremely well. Absolutely. So the mat pretty much back nearly on the 2 metre mark from Janine, and a long jack again. How long are we going? How long? Ditch, is it? No, what are we doing? Can't see. No, stayed, must have stayed.
Okay, well that's as big a lead as we've ever had in this game now, 4 shots. We have
5 ends to go.
5 ends to go, but 4 shots in front. And that's one of the 3 ends that Carlton Cornwall wanted to win. And the fact that they got a squiggly number means that they did it well.
Right, well, I'm not sure what a squiggly number is.
A squiggly number is one that's bigger than 1 because it's got wrinkles in it.
Right. I must be a squiggly number then. I've got wrinkles.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, if the cap fits, wear it gracefully.
Well, no cap today. I'm inside. I'm good. Okay, so Penny and Sue need to... not quite what we're after.
Ting needs to...
Ting needs
a little closer than that.
That's not in the game plan, I don't think.
Well, Janine's bowl is somewhere between the bottom of shot and ditch. I didn't see anybody pick it up.
No.
So...
There it is.
There it is.
So
a metre or so behind.
It's amazing. That bowl must be 3 metres out, and it's forced Janine on the other hand, and she's fired one into the ditch.
That was
That
wasn't going to stop in the neighbourhood anytime soon.
That was surprising that she changed hand, to be fair.
Well, it's also, I still find it surprising that they're as rough as this, because they haven't been. Really.
No, exactly, 100%. It's not like, it doesn't look like there's the wind's blowing, does it?
Well, this one's got some pepper on it too.
Got some, yeah. Probably
still going.
Probably good enough. Just got to sit that. Yeah, it's good enough.
Yeah, if you can't get inside those by the end of the end, I'll be surprised.
Yeah, so Speedy Helen on the rink, on the rink. Well, it's really tightening up in the men's singles final. Obviously, the race there to 21. And it's now 16-14 to Davey Motu over Zoran Botolovic.
This is a much better bowl here from Helen.
Very good shot.
Right, pressure goes on again. Because you're already down 4, if you're Howick, you're spotting Carlton Cornwall the biggest lead that either side's had in the game, and now you've got one sitting a foot away from the jack. That's going to get in your head.
That hand has not been quite as wide as the right hand side hand as we see it, as we look at it. But I think might have gone in the ditch, maybe no.
Not sure. Helen's next offering is on the way. This is not a bad one
Yeah,
either.
no, pretty good again.
Rest on the road, that'll be really good.
Good enough anyway.
Yeah, that's a second shot.
And hides it behind the jack too, which is a good shot.
Yep. Yeah, I know which skip I'd rather be just at the moment.
Exactly. On the way, don't think she likes it.
No,
Yeah,
no, the cat's tail came out.
The body language was indicative of what she thought of that one.
When you see those cloths looking like a cat's tail when the cat's in a bad mood, you know that the bowl's not great. Janine's starting to look pretty relaxed. Estelle's not looking too stressed. She knows it's not done yet, but she's, I think, feeling that another good end here, and she's in a very powerful position.
Yep. Not quite game over, but definitely a scenario where there's they're in prime spot.
If Penny can't cut this down, and they're steering down 2 or 3, it's really starting to get difficult.
Yep.
Because Howick's only scored 1s and 2s in the whole game, and this one looks like it may have some promise about it. And in we come, and that is going to count. That's a very good bowl.
Yeah, sits behind 2, which is gives us a bit more of an opportunity to sit on there.
Yeah, you got a wee shelf, and if Penny can land on either of those 2 bowls, she's probably going to get the shot. But when you're 4 up, you think you can play that shot. When you're 4 down, they look like marbles rather than bowls.
Yeah, they very shrink, very much so. She's got the speed. She might be okay. Don't think she's got the speed to hold her up. No. No,
she's, I would imagine, still 3 down.
So again, a scenario where it's a bit of pressure on the last bowl.
Yeah, well, there's not much for Estelle to do except put another one in there.
You drop another 2 here. Then it becomes you have more shots to gain to recover than ends to play.
Yeah,
which is never a good scenario.
No. Yeah, this Carlton Cornwall team's been in this position before.
Close again. You heard that from
Janine.
Janine.
Yep. And it is to. Okay, it's a bit of a slipcord in there now, but they're standing fairly close. And she's steering it 4 down. Basically, if she can get in to reduce the 4 down, she's probably going to sit on the middle of those 3 bowls, and that would be one of the all-time great conversions in a final situation, because she go from 4 down to 1 up.
On the way, she doesn't give much away in the body language, does she? But I don't think it's going to turn. Yeah, and this is another 2 big ends here for.
Yeah, well, that's 4
for the Carlton Cornwall team. Really, that's probably, well, not sewing things up, but definitely has made things difficult for the
16 to 8 is with 4 ends to go when you've only picked up 1s and 2s.
Yep. You're in a bit of trouble.
You're asking for something that you haven't had.
Yep. Not out of the realms, but definitely a hard task.
Yep.
So in the preview, we did speak briefly, Paul, regarding the experience factor of the team from Carlton Cornwall, the fact that they've been there, done that in the final, and the pressure finals can do funny things. the ladies from Howick have played pretty well, to be fair. Just the last two ends they've struggled, and obviously the pressure's gone on Penny with her last bowl. She played a really good one last end before to cut them from 4 to 2 down. But just couldn't quite rectify the situation last end. So yeah, 6 shots and 2 ends. That's made a big difference.
It hasn't happened before in the game. But how often does that happen? It's ones and twos, ones and twos, ones and twos, and then the bottom falls out for somebody. Yeah. And almost invariably, the team that has the bottom fall out of the game is the one with less experience.
Good. This is what Penny Ting was playing like a few ends ago, and now she's played another goodie.
Yeah, that's a very good start.
You briefly saw the graphics show up there regarding the men's singles final, 18-14 now to Davy Motu over Zoran Batilovic. So getting closer. Obviously, when you're an 18, you can go out with one end. You have 4 bowls available, and you need to get to 21. So tingly times
what have we got here, Janine?
Janine
looking
again.
For the bowl?
She's got the little bit of the bowl, but good enough though to give her more room.
Yeah. Well, she pushed it out of the way.
Exactly.
Not quite sure that's what Estelle was after, but she won't be disappointed with that, because
Correct.
even another shot here, while Ting may finish up with 2 shots, the second one is not right on top of the jack.
No.
Unless the jack
Not bad.
gets nudged sideways. This is actually...
Not bad again. She gets in behind the jack, which is what she wants.
Yep,
Very
that's
good.
pretty much what she's done.
Very good. So Helen, she's so quickly into her work, isn't she? She's like a racehorse. Wham! In she goes. Good line. Might be just a bit speedy, but good line. Just a little quick.
Just a little quick, yeah.
Well, is this the end, Paul? Is this the end where the Howick ladies get a number?
Pretty much has to be.
It has to be, does, yeah.
And it's good while you're putting them in there and think, oh yeah, we've got 3. And we're getting up there, and then
This is a bit quick, I think.
And Estelle Hickey comes to the mat, and suddenly you haven't got 3 anymore because you've got 1 or none.
Well, could be the worst, not the worst home there, but opportunity here for Helen. I think I thought you change your hand and go on the forehand. Yeah, bowls to sit on this hand.
So she got a
bit under, I think. That's definitely been the wider hand, isn't it, all game, that one?
Yeah, it has.
That'll probably force Sue to back onto the forehand just to get another bowl handy there. Got 2, two's all right, 2 an end. Get some in the mix.
You'd want to keep the 2. You wouldn't want it to skinny down too much more than that.
No.
Obviously, you'd like 3 if you can get it.
Not a bad line.
Yeah, Penny, the pink bowl beats the pink bowl.
Pretty good.
That's a good bowl here.
Good. And a nice spot too. Like just again, it's that niggly bowl just in the way of your line.
Look, I think Estelle's now in the position where she would happily walk away 1 down. But given the bowl's 4 and aft, if she's 1 down, she's probably 2 down.
Yep.
First time she's had a wee grin on as they've crossed over for a while. Sedgrove in the background from the Howick Bowling Club. Very dedicated and enthusiastic member over there.
Right, so importantly for Estelle with the first one to get one handy. You don't want to be getting to the head with your last bowl 4 down, and having you got a 1.5 2 feet to draw to cut it down. So yeah, quite important here in the context.
Played a lot of big bowls in their career, so this is just...
I thought they looked narrow off the hand, and it certainly is.
Yeah, it's not going to change very much unless she gets
she's
very
got a
lucky.
rub. She's got a rub. She's got what were you talking about? The dirty slide that you haven't seen.
Yeah, well, that's
maybe 3rd. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, got 2 definitely.
Yeah. It probably wasn't going hard enough to knock a hen off its nest, so that was the saving grace as far as Howick were concerned. It wasn't going to turn that bowl over 3 or 4 rolls. Penny's line is better.
She just not going to be there, I think. Just, no.
That hand's pretty comfortable. Hasn't been knocked off a nest twice.
No. Well, I mean, I'm surprised he's not having a little fun run on the back end there. You've got opportunities to sit bowls, grab the jack on the back end. But no, sticking with the draw in the forehand.
I think she probably backs herself to do it properly. What do we got here? Middle line. Bit much pace. She needs that bowl, doesn't she?
She does.
Not going to get up.
No. Oh, I thought Helen was going to poke it with a toe. Jeez.
little trap look pass to the striker running into the penalty area.
Wow. Okay. Not sure how the umpire would have viewed that scenario.
No.
We've had no umpires calls at all, have we? Nothing for short jack, nothing.
No.
Right.
Well, they are
big conversion here. They are big conversion here from Penny.
Yeah, this.
The better line, quick. I think
It's got some
good bit of toe on it.
So she doesn't want that bowl out either.
No. Oh, she has two. Oh, that's unlucky.
Two it is. As far as luck goes, that's not what you want.
No.
16-10 now with 3 ends to play.
And in the men's singles final, it is now 19-14 to Zoran Batulovic.
19-14 to Zoran?
To Davey over Zoran Batulovic, sorry. So edging closer and closer is Davey Motu. Of course, Davey has a very, very famous mother, didn't he, Paul?
Yeah, well,
Mia Motu, the boxer. There's obviously a bit of family ability in sport.
Yeah, well, Davey doesn't sort of follow mum's path on the green.
No.
He's a very restrained young man. In fact, if anybody tries to annoy Davey, he just gives you the big sort of, oh yeah, I'm listening look.
Very placid young man.
Like the old possum in the headlights look, and then he ignores everything you've said, and he carries on doing his own thing.
Yeah.
Really good guy.
Yeah.
And a high quality player.
Yep. Good shot. Good start here from Ting.
But yeah, I've never seen anybody rattle Davey on the green yet, and I've seen a few people try, especially when he was young. Think, I can bully this kid. Well, never happened.
Interesting. Ting's gone back to the forehand now. The left-hand side of the rink, as you see it.
Yep.
She had been playing probably 2/3 of the game on the right-hand side of the rink as we look at it. So, interesting.
Good return of serve from Janine. Beats the first bowl. Yeah, I wonder what precipitated that change.
Exactly.
Because she wasn't playing too badly down the other side, and as a lead, you like to get into a nice little routine and stay there.
Yep. This has been the, I suppose, more kinder hand, the side of the rink. This one isn't. There's the one on the right, pretty good too. The one on the right has been a bit more of a swinging a bit more. Is she going to get there? Get there enough? I would think. Yes.
Yeah,
possibly.
I suspect that's probably the shot.
So another 2 here would make it, for the difference, 2 to go, would make a bit more interesting game. Obviously, if the Carlton Cornwall team win this end, then it really doubles down.
This might make getting too hard.
Yes, very good shot here from Janine. She's going to stick with it. Yeah, good enough.
Yeah, that's going to make getting too hard. That's, as a skip, you're very happy to see your lead give you one of those.
I'd be definitely coming. Well, okay, I think I'd be coming forehand, but anyway, calling on the back end.
We're having moments of indecision on the mat, which is not what you want. Slightly out of context, as the great Yogi Berra used to say about baseball, you can't think and hit at the same time.
Oh, she gone forehand?
Yes, she did. That was always the plan.
I would think so. Yeah. Speed, really good speed.
It's always a nice way of saying your line stunk. How many times have you been told weight was good when your line was good as well? Never happens. There's a camera behind you, right there.
You would think so.
It happens to be behind me as well, but I'll ignore that. But
it's only been 16 ends that the camera's been there.
I'll be honest, Penny's been pretty good as a rule. It's not the skips who tend to get in the way. It's the others, because there's 4 of them for a start.
Yep. Better line.
It has prospects. Tell you what, it's not far away.
Very good shot.
Yep. Nice bowl.
Great nut.
But again, it shouldn't probably disturb the Carlton team too much because they're 1 down. 1 down.
Helen's in the area too. Pretty good.
Just behind. Tell you what, that's not the worst return, is it?
Pretty good bowl. Well, 1 on the crossover, so if you can double down and get another, we'll get 1 more maybe. She's got to draw that off the black bowl at the back just to make her bowl count. Give herself a chance in the next 2 ends to retrieve the situation.
Well, you've got to go 2-2. Even a 2 here leaves you leading 2-2, but anything less than a 2 needs you leading at least a 3.
Yep.
And if you haven't got one through the first 16 ends,
no,
it's hard to advance reasons why you find you suddenly going to get one when the heat's on.
Yep. Something's disturbed Penny the last for a couple of minutes actually behind the head. I don't know what it is. So she was talking to Estelle about something going on. It wasn't the camera or something else. I don't know what it was, but hope it hasn't upset her. It has upset her.
Hasn't been a wee explosion on the barbecue, I hope.
Don't think so. But yeah, it's that's certainly not ideal.
Yeah, well, there's more attention being paid to whatever's going on behind the ring.
Maybe we can get a camera, turn around and seeing what's going on behind there, boys. I don't know whether it's going on. So Estelle on the back end just trying to replicate what Helen was doing, getting another one handy. 19-15 in the men's singles final.
That's a good nut there, isn't it?
It's a very good bowl. Very good bowl.
Get another one inside there. Yeah. Go on, I dare you.
Yeah. She's got a lot of improving to do from speed and green with the second one, so it's going to be a bit of a hard task.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because Cornwall would have at least 2 good seconds in there.
The slight frown there didn't just give it away, but
no,
just going a bit
quick for that line. Brought it back to the centre line, but I don't know if you're getting too greedy here. I'd walk away 1 down.
good line. You heard from Helen?
Yep. Wouldn't be unhappy with those if I was Estelle either, because they were two good bowls. So 1 to Howick. 11-16, 2 ends to go.
Right, now, here's the decision where, she's asking, where do you want the jack?
Where do you want to go? Is that halfway?
Oh, looks like the sausages are up and running in the background.
Well, I hope the disturbance behind the head wasn't Dean slightly burning fingers.
Or Wally eating a sausage. Righto, so they brought the men up a little bit, and it's gone reasonably short. So it's this will be quite a short end here. So they have had a little bit of success on the short ends early doors of the game, didn't they?
Yeah. Admittedly, the success was limited to 1s and 2s, but it involved winning
Pretty good
ends
start.
frequently.
Yeah, it's pretty good. That's handy.
Yep.
Yeah, I think this is quite a short end.
Yeah, I think Estelle, all she wants to see from Janine here is a good second. Liam getting his nutrients before his final.
Good line, maybe just, again, just smudging quick, but going to be handy-ish.
But you have to say, when you're looking for 5 shots and 2 ends, that they're not pressuring, they're not getting in
No.
the Carlton Cornwall players' eye line at the moment.
Yeah, you've got to be within a foot, don't you, really, with this sort of, put the pressure on.
I think this one may be somewhere in that neighbourhood. I think this is pretty good. Yeah, it is. So okay, now you're Estelle Hickey. You've just seen one of those go in and you think, right, we're not going to get hurt too much here.
Yeah. Not bad from Sue.
She's just going to slide under.
Pretty good, though. Maybe. No.
Yeah, Carlton Cornwall don't have to do anything fancy, do they?
No.
They're not looking for miracle shots. They're not good
Yeah,
nut
good
here
shot.
too.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Righto.
So Sue's really got to be just similar weight to her last, trying to even sit the ball, grab the jack movement about a foot to her right. Our left would be probably the ideal scenario.
The furniture has to move now, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it does, yeah. Not bad.
She's given it a chance.
Yeah, not bad at all. Just going to duck
Just
under.
going to
Eh?
slide under the jack.
Great speed. Look at that. Perfect speed to get it to that.
It
there.
would have worked really.
Yep.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
Cover that little triangle. Put one in the middle of it.
Tell you what, there's a few sausages been
I reckon.
been acquired in the background. Looks like they're quite the crowd favourite. Oh, she trailed it around the corner. She niggles it around the corner. Oh, well, that's good and bad because that does give Penny a bit of a shelf to work off as well.
Yeah, but it's game over if it stays like
Oh,
this.
100%, yeah.
That's the end.
Yeah.
They don't even have to play the last. Comfortable. Janine not looking like she's got too many stresses in her life just at the minute.
So look, Penny's got an opportunity. She's
She-
not like
she
she's
does.
not like she's just got nothing going for her. She's definitely got an opportunity to you can move that jack about 2 feet to her right.
Well, if it goes there, suddenly you are looking at a bit of a number. You're probably looking at 3 going on 4.
Correct, yeah.
And Estelle was well aware of the danger that was developing out there. She's
Not gonna
quite
turn,
on
eh?
this one. If she does anything, she's going to turn that wider bowl in. No, she rested in off it, so she's only 2 down. At this point, it's probably not relevant how many you're down.
No, 2's enough, isn't it, really, to be shaking hands.
This could finish up in a very good place, right in that triangle.
She's just going a smidgen. Still good though, but still opportunity there. This is your life, Penny. There you go. I mean, the speed was good last time, but just obviously on a shorter end, you need to, the bowls hasn't got the opportunity to turn as much. Right, could be the last bowl of the match.
Yeah, I think we'll see at least one more.
No, too wide, unfortunately.
It's going, but I'm still convinced we're going to see it. Oh, now that, no, it still hasn't changed it. It's still holding 2. Yeah, that's all you got to do.
Two makes it 7 the difference, doesn't it?
Makes it 18-11. It makes it 7 the difference.
Which is
quite right.
Which you under the new laws of the game, you don't play.
I'd be very quick to say we don't need to play this end, this bowl, this anything. Doesn't matter. Job's done.
Job's done.
So that's 2, and nobody passed school C maths.
No.
So
obviously we need to shake hands.
Go.
No. Well, say under the laws of the game, as proposed by Bowls New Zealand, that's it.
Yep.
Look,
yeah. No.
Sue's
they're starting to work it out now.
Yeah.
Matt hasn't gone down.
No. Shake hands, ladies. Get a sausage. Yep. 2.
Yep.
All over.
Yep. Carlton picked up a 2 on the 17th end to put themselves out of reach. So at 18 points to 11, the Carlton Cornwall trio of Estelle, Hickey, Helen, Blick and Janine Browne have taken out their 3rd centre title as a unit, beating Penny Yam, Ting Ip and Sue Carroll of Howick in a game that was very tight through the first 12 ends, but last 5 ends, Carlton Cornwall picked up a 2 2s and a 4 while limiting Howick to a 2 and a 1, and that was really where the game changed. It was 9-8 after 11 ends, and Carlton Cornwall got away in the closing stages. But you'd have to say the better team won, but it took them quite a while to say that they were the better team.
I think the more consistent team won overall. Paul, you're correct. It was, as we mentioned in the pre-game, they probably the most experienced team of the 2. Penny, Sue and Ting have done very well, because I think you said that a couple of them just out of juniors. So that's a fantastic effort to even get to the final, reach the final. It was a great effort. And to lose to such an established and, I suppose, well-versed team as Janine, Helen and Estelle was a great effort. So well done to all.
Yep. Well, there was. We've talked about it quite a bit. There was not much in this game. Carlton Cornwall picked up a 4 on the second end, but for the next 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 ends, there were only 1s and 2s, and the teams exchanged little periods where they had control of the mat. It all changed on the 13th end when Penny played the last bowl 4 down. She took out 2 shots, but she was still 2 down. And then there was a 4 on the 14th end where Estelle was 2 up when she went to the mat, but she drew 2 more to make it 16-8. Pretty much game gone at that stage. Howick picked up a 2 on the 15th end, but the experience and the know-how in the Carlton Cornwall team meant that they were never going to panic. And so they put the game to sleep pretty gently, deserved their win, and as we have just mentioned, nobody would say that the wrong team won. So a good result. So that's 7th centre title for Estelle Hickey, 6th for Helen Blick, 3rd for Janine Browne, and they will be very pleased with what they've done, and I'm sure they will go and enjoy themselves with their feet up somewhere while they watch the rest of the bowls on the telly. And with that, we'll take a short break and we'll be back for the men's triples final. So be sure to tune in for that. But for now, that's us from Mount Eden Bowling Club.